Government ops to order. If you could please take roll, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Wilson,
Present.
Commissioner Kenizik, Commissioner Clark Coleman, Commissioner Colleen,
Here.
Chair Clemente,
Here.
you have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item, please.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
We're going to have some snow today. Everyone be careful. Moving on.
There you go.
C, approval of the January 29, 2025 meeting minutes.
Can I have a motion,
Approval of the
please?
Previous minutes, Madam Chair. Support.
Thank you. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, let's move to new business and let's start with items 1 through 3, please.
Items 1 through 3, forwarding the November 2024, the December 2024, and the January 2025 Wayne County Connect 43 Steering Committee Monthly Meeting Report.
Okay, so we are receiving these reports on Connect 43. I did meet with Mike and tried talking about how we could consolidate these reports a little bit, but found out that it would be redundant to try and do that. So he directed me to look at certain things. And Mike, are you on the line?
I am on the line, Chair Clemente. Hi. how are
Okay,
you?
could you just, for the commission, give us just a high level of bullet points of what we're looking at right now in these documents?
Will
Oh,
do.
and I
And
do
thank
want to
you.
say that if you are looking at these reports, there is a legend at the back that will tell you exactly what each one of these components are. We are deep into this. There's no going back, but we have to be looking at just being very diligent with our time and money. So thanks, Mike.
Yep, absolutely. And I was planning to be present. Unfortunately, I contracted the flu, so I didn't want to contaminate anybody in the room. But high level, I'll focus on the January report because that's where
Yes.
we talk about the revised roadmap and the contracts that and one of them is on this agenda. The contracts that we've identified to help us get over the hump, and really they're leveraging the lessons learned from going live with HCM and then managing it post implementation, and then extrapolating some of those learnings to in particular the ERP phase, which has more modules, is a larger team, has more business analysts, and kind of recognizing and I'm kind of segueing somewhat into item 4, but
Right.
recognizing the need to have resources available to not only like alleviate the pressure on our subject matter experts, but then just help the other parts of the county, whether that's M&B and on the ERP side, HR on the HCM payroll side, as well as budget on the budget side, to make sure that we're not creating additional replans because we just didn't have all of the resources in place, or the resources in place legitimately have competing priorities, i.e. the ACFR and year-end close. And so just recognizing that that's just a constant with this project. The contracts really are to reflect the identification of resources needed to, at least based on our experience with HCM, needed to get us over the hump. And we do have progress to report as well. So January 27th, we did the soft launch of the Enterprise Performance Management, which is the budgetary planning system. So EPM is now live in production. Because it's a soft launch, really only M&B budget and IT, with a few exceptions, have access to it. And we're using this period between the end of January and the October 1st to kick the tires in production. It was a unique unique position with EPM because there was no legacy system, unlike PeopleSoft and JD Edwards for the HR payroll and finance system. So, excuse me. So the benefit is we get a chance to validate it in production, which we didn't have the luxury of doing with HCM for good reason, and because the ERP replan is pushing out the date from October or from April 1st to October 1st. There's two integrations from ERP to EPM that will be tested, and we're adding another round of testing in the replan for ERP, similar to what happened with HCM. And so those two integrations that go to EPM will be tested in this second round. So it gives us time to do those integrations and validate that they're working. And we just have the benefit now of being able to test in a non-production environment and then also validate in the production environment as well.
Okay, I'm going to let you take a break there, Mike, for a minute and get a drink of water. And because you have been discussing some things in item number 4. So commissioners, does anyone have any questions about the 3 reports that we received? Go ahead, Commissioner Clean.
Thank you. Excuse me. A little bit more of a general question. Where are we at with cost for this project now?
Yep. So
we've been at this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
In that, yep. And we heard it and got a pro forma financial for you. So in the January 25 steering committee report, we put the pro forma financials. It's basically pages 14 through 18. We're projecting a total spend now of 128.8 million, and that's primarily due to the Pierce Monroe amendment, the replan, which would basically reflecting the move to October 1st go live versus April 1st go live for ERP, and there's another contract that'll be making its way to your agenda that I think really can be a game changer in terms of stabilization of HCM and then optimization of the implementation for ERP and EPM. That contract, which isn't it's in the material in the Steerco financials, but it's not on your agenda yet. Basically, would be soliciting Oracle functional and technical resources to alleviate and take over responsibilities of the Wayne County subject matter experts. One, so that they can honestly get a chance to breathe, and then 2, so that they can more strategically allocate their time to the most critical items, while these resources, who would be well versed and knowledgeable of the Oracle modules, would take over the day-to-day and handle kind of what now our Wayne County SMEs are doing in terms of the ticket resolution, enhancement requests, quarterly regression testing. Excuse me. All of the work that is the responsibility of the Wayne County SME, but again, going to this notion of we didn't have enough resources fully to handle all of the work. We think that's a game changer, honestly. And so the game plan is, and you'll see this in the contract, is to start with HCM, because that's the one that's in live in production, and we're working through items, and then phase in resources for ERP and EPM as we get closer to their go live. But the goal really is to, in conjunction with the Pierce contract, make sure that we have the resources necessary to handle all of the work. And some of it is just having the flexibility to deal with things on the fly. I'll give you an example. We had one of our.
Well, that's okay, sir. I was asking.
Yeah.
So you gave me a number like 128 million.
Yep, it's in.
Is that including the $20 million on our agenda today?
It is.
Okay, so you put that in your report in January.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm in complete agreement with the chair. We're knee deep in this, and we have to see it through. to completion. But Madam Chair, I want to say when the ERP first was talked about here, maybe 3 years ago, the cost was somewhere in the $30 million range.
From what I understand, there's been a lot of different
There has been,
companies
but
that you've gone through.
yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that has happened, but
Mhm.
now we're going to a project that's 100 million or so more than we had anticipated. But
Yes.
here we are. We have to have the system.
Yeah.
So all the best of luck to you. I know there's a lot of moving parts here. And there's been a lot of false steps over the last few years. So hopefully it's smooth to this point. All right, thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have
I
any
know.
questions on these
You know,
reports? Okay, can I get a motion to receive and file these 3 reports, please?
Receive and file items 1, 2, and 3, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And support?
Support.
Thank you. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Madam Clerk, can we move on to number 4, please? Our first approval item here.
Item 4, requesting commission approval of Amendment 6 to a 3-year professional services contract with a 1-year option to renew with Pierce Monroe and Associates for staff augmentation services to assist the county in its transition from its J.D. Edwards accounting and PeopleSoft payroll system to an Oracle cloud-based Connect 43 system, and to further augment the project team with resources that were not previously identified.
Okay, this is a 6-month contract or amendment, I think, and it's adding $20 million, which is, like Mike said, we're pushing the go live from October 1st, 25 to April, or other way around. Sorry, other way around. Pushing it from April to October. Yeah. And getting the resources that we need. Is there anyone here from Pierce Monroe? No. Okay. Are there any questions about this contract? Yes, go right ahead.
So what Pierce Monroe is doing is providing them with staff and
Yes.
all that other
Yeah.
stuff that they need.
All the other resources and help that they need
Right.
to continue on the path that we're on to get everything up and running throughout the whole county, all the departments.
Because we don't have those resources.
So we do not, but we were told yesterday in Ways and Means that we are working on getting people in place that could be county employees.
Okay, all right.
So that is, our goal is to get away from all this, to have people here working on this. And we already have people that are starting to become subject experts that they go to. Training. Yes. Any other questions? Yes, Commissioner
Yes.
Wilson.
Thank you, Chair. Resources that were not previously identified. Could someone help me out there?
Yeah, this is through the chair. This is Mike Jameson, Connect 43 Project Director.
Thank you.
We provided an analysis that kind of broke out the existing positions that were part of this amendment that were essentially continuing, and the new positions that were contemplated in.
Could you tell us what page that's on, Mike, please? Because I did really dive into these 3 reports, and I know I made some notes about where things are, but I think that would be helpful for us to know so that we could pass it on to this committee and other commissioners.
Got it. So it was something that I provided to commission staff as part of their questions, but I can send it to the commissioners as well. But it's not
Okay.
in.
So that's in the fiscal analysis, Commissioner Wilson, if you wanted to go back and look at that. Go ahead, Mike, what you were saying.
Yeah. So high level, we identified and you'll see in the analysis, we kind of triangulated. So we have kind of a full detail, which was, we actually had initially identified a higher amount, and then to the point of trying to identify those positions that could be hired through traditional, the traditional HR means, and from a timing perspective, wouldn't create a potential landmine in the project execution. We whittled down to two scenarios: a full complement and then a reduced complement. And so the 20 million is essentially a triangulation of those two scenarios. But at a high level,
So I heard you saying you are working through our human resource department and personnel. Okay.
yep. So like one of the positions was a M&B PMO director that would essentially handle all of M&B's projects, and that was one that let's hire that one. Let's hire that one through HR. We had identified a candidate and thought we had an acceptance, and it didn't work out. But again, we're that's not one that we feel was necessary to run through staff aug due to timing. But but these would be additional positions that would be needed to essentially support the implementations and further stabilize HCM. Like as an example, we added additional report writers for IT because we know now with HCM and ERP and EPM, in addition to ADW, there's going to be a greater demand on IT for report writing, like immediately. And so the goal was to give them resources that could handle some of the workload, because right now there's two report writers for the entire county. So they're working on everything, not just Connect 43 related items. And so again, a lot of this is just to alleviate the burden on the existing resources. It was, let's get some folks in now that can help alleviate that burden. If we're able to hire them and transition them to full-time employees, that's the goal. But it more importantly alleviates like that burden on the existing resources, because they're getting pulled in so many directions.
Yes.
Another example would be, and this was just a learning through the project. We had initially assumed that the procurement business analyst would also cover inventory, and just through kind of learning in the implementation, procurement's role in inventory is relatively straightforward and small, but it's really more related to the departments that manage inventory. And so we've added a business analyst for inventory, so we can have someone bird dogging that particular item, because again, we assume we had a bad assumption in terms of procurement handling inventory, and the way the county does it is not that straightforward. So those are like two examples.
All right. Thank you. Commissioner, any follow-up?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
All right. Well, this is something that we're going to definitely be keeping an eye on, and as we go along. So we are in February, so hopefully we'll see a really good report at the end of February on all your progress.
No, well, and
I'm very positive.
I didn't mention, but we did also push the data warehouse for the human capital management HR payroll system into production formally yesterday, but it's being rolled out to end users today. So that's three items in production, 3 waves in production. HCM and EPM with the soft launch, and now ADW. So progress is being made. A lot of this is just the lessons learned that we didn't have, because when we were initially doing the forecast and making assumptions, we hadn't actually gone through an implementation. And so HCM was the first one. And so knowing that ERP is a bigger nut to crack, we're just trying to get in front of it so that we don't keep coming back to you with replans, because we're going to miss deadlines that create a need for a new go live.
There were some hiccups, and we heard about them. So I'm glad that you are reevaluating and looking at some resources that you need. Can I get a motion for this item, please?
I'll move it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, let's move on to item number 5, please.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of a 3-year contract with 2 one-year options to renew with Absol Pure Water Company to provide water supplies and delivery of 5-gallon bottles, dispensers, sterilization, and other miscellaneous supplies related to the dispensation of water.
Okay, so this item, we are now using Xanadu. We're moving to Apsapure. Commissioner Clean, you have a question? Do you want?
No, I was gonna move it, Madam Chair.
Oh, you're
This-
ready to go.
we
Okay,
have-
yeah, this is
we
pretty
had one bid
straightforward.
For this.
Yeah, exactly. We had one big, exactly. So, all right, we have movement from Commissioner Clean, support. And all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
I, that's an awkward way of saying it.
What's that?
Movement from Commissioner Clean.
Okay, moving on.
Strike it from the minutes.
Strike that from the, thank you. Let's take now,
Agreement on that.
item six and just 6. Okay, item number 6, please.
Item 6, requesting commission approval of a memorandum of agreement with ASME Michigan Supervisors, Local 1862, 2057, and 2926, AFL-CIO, modifying Article 28 of the collective bargaining agreement to add Veterans Day as a holiday and 1 floating holiday per calendar year, and also to remove any reference to Good Friday from this article.
Okay, we, last time we met, we saw something similar to this. Is there anything to add to this? If you please introduce yourself.
Yes, Gwendolyn DeYoung, Labor Relations Director. There's only one item or one additional comment, and that is that this collective bargaining agreement made reference to Good Friday, whereas the others did not. So we wanted to make it clear, we being the union, all of us, wanted to make it clear that Good Friday would no longer be considered a holiday because of these 2 additional holidays that have been added.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions about that? Yes, Commissioner Coleman.
So Good Friday is now, before this, it's now considered the whole day.
Well, someone can use their floating holiday on that day, but as far as Good Friday, that's off the table for this bargaining unit as well as the others, because they have the 1 floating holiday, which is an 8-hour holiday, and they can use that 8-hour holiday as they deem fit with approval from their supervisor.
So rather than having
4 hours.
Friday,
Correct. It was 4 hours.
4 hours, so now, rather than having the 4 hours, they can use this floating holiday to take the whole day off.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Commissioner Wilson, do you have a
Yeah,
question?
So yeah, that's 8 hours. You said it was a floating. So they
Yes.
picked up 4 hours, sounds like.
Yes.
Get 4 more
Okay.
hours on your floater.
As a union man, that's a good deal.
Yes. I think we
Thank
all
you.
agreed.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much. Can I get
Thank
a motion, please?
Support.
I
Move,
need a motion first.
move.
Move. Okay, and support, thank you. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, if we could please move to number 7.
Item 7, revision of resolution number 2024-750, retroactive amendment 11 to a 3-year comparable source contract with 2 one-year options to renew with AT&T Enterprises LLC.
Yeah.
Is this just language that,
Yeah,
had to
just
fix?
for
Yes,
approval,
thank you,
Madam Chair.
please.
This is
Thank you.
Another
Yep,
one of those, the account numbers.
right. And
Support.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, let's move on to number 8, please.
Item 8, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 2-year legal services agreement with Dickinson Wright P. LLC for the China Cochran versus Wayne County et al. Matter.
So this is just adding some money because this is still in process. Can I get a motion, please? Unless anyone has any questions.
I just quickly.
Yes, okay,
Obviously, I'm the new kid on the block.
sure.
That
Hold
name
on a
is familiar.
second, Commissioner Wilson. Let's get Corp Counsel to come up, please, and
Okay.
introduce herself.
Okay.
Because I have answers, but I don't want to be the answer.
Good afternoon, Sue Hamud, Deputy Corporation Counsel.
Hi.
Hi.
$70,000 for China Cochran? I know the name, but just curious,
I
is
heard the name.
this,
Ms. Cochran
how
was,
much can you reveal?
she
to
was
us?
an employee of the
Yes.
county
Oh,
and is currently in active litigation against the county.
oh, boy.
Oh, I know I've
Okay.
heard that name before.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, is there a question?
That's, okay.
That's it?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Just curious.
Yes, so we're active litigation. So, can I
enough
get a
for me.
motion, please?
Approval of this item then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Coleman, did you have another
Yeah, so-
question?
So what we're looking at here is they just want to add Dickinson, right? They just want to add another 70 grand
Right, because
because they have additional work to do.
it's not.
Correct.
It's not finished. It's
right.
still,
It's still in discovery.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, boy.
It's in
Yeah.
Discovery?
Correct.
Okay,
Oh,
Discovery's expensive.
yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
okay. So I'm
Move
sorry, where was I?
approval of
I've,
item 8, Madam Chair.
all right, and support?
Support.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye, all right. So now we were given an addenda this morning. We have 3 items and let's start with number 9, please.
Item 9 on the addenda, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a professional services contract with a 1-year option to renew with Mario Morrow and Associates LLC, adding Appendix D and continuing to provide the county with communications and public relations related services that bolster the county's digital footprint to increase community engagement and awareness.
So this has to do with, let me think, what it, the state of the county, the seniors and vets programs, and there was one other thing, and I can't remember what it is. Someone could help me. What was the other thing that this is?
Oh, okay.
Darcel?
Where's their sound?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Darcel Brown, Chief Assistant to the Deputy CEO. Thank you to Commission staff for working and swiftly get this to the addenda. And I'll introduce our Director of Communications, Dota Lujurai, who can provide more information about this contract.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Thank you for all you do. My name is Dota Lujurai, Director of Communications for the Wayne County Executive's Office. This is my first time in a setting like this, so I appreciate your patience. I've been with the county for about 8 months.
No problem. So you are going to be. I've never seen you before. So, so our digital footprint with this publishing person, Mario and Associates. So how is this going to be used? I know that one was the county, state of the county. The other one was seniors and vets, and there was a third. So.
Yeah. Thank you. State of the county is part of this function. It's just a massive undertaking, and Mario Morrow's team is very experienced in this arena, from planning and also networking and helping us expand our footprint when we want to spread the word about what we are doing in these initiatives and announcements. The digital footprint piece is we don't have much editorial control over what a digital publication may do, and through his experience in networking, may be able to elevate something we are trying to communicate to county residents through his experience in networking.
So what are we promoting with the seniors and vets, and what are we, what was the third?
Juvenile youth services. Yeah.
Yeah, what are we working on that we,
Yeah.
because we've been hearing about possibilities of these things happening in different committees, and I think we're getting there now.
Yeah, specifically with senior services, one of our major functions there is Meals on Wheels, which is always recruiting volunteers and getting the word out about what we're doing there and who we're looking to recruit. Specifically to juvenile youth services, it's just the amount of programming and initiatives that are coming out of that area, really offering resources to the community, and we're just trying to get the word out about that as well.
Okay, very good. So positive messages about all the things we're doing here in Wayne County. Commissioners, does anyone have any questions about this contract.
Yeah, so it's going to, we're extending it
Yes,
from 149, 310 to
298.
298,
So we're
620.
doubling
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I offer some clarity there? We're exercising the renewal option for a year. So it is doubling the amount, but the rate for these services is not increasing for an additional year. It
I
will be the
see.
same price we paid in the first 12 months.
So the original one goes from what to what? Or
Uh,
maybe that's not. Okay.
I don't have
So
that
not to
specific.
exceed 149, 310 was the first
March
one.
Yep, so the original one is coming up expiration. We pretty much are running out of funds.
Yeah.
Correct.
The new one would take effect on March 1st.
March 1st, so it expires at the end of February.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then the new one takes effect, which is the same contract, basically,
Yes.
from March 1st through 25 to February 28th of 26.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commissioner Kenizik, you have a question?
Is the statement of work for this extension the same as the previous months
Yeah, that's not a
for
question.
the scope of work?
Through the chair, Commissioner Kenizik, yes.
If the last year there was this focus on recruiting Meals on Wheels drivers, what did we get for our money? How many new Meals on Wheels drivers did we get?
So I can find out that information and provide that to you, Commissioner, before a full board.
Sweet.
Yeah, they have been doing advertising and connecting us with media outlets, though. I think there was a recent news story, Dota, that took place on channel.
Yes, WDIV Channel 4, right before the end of the year, did a live morning event where we were able to walk the audience through the whole process of meal preparation to meal delivery to help with recruiting.
And when you're recruiting, this is volunteer.
Yes.
The volunteers.
Yes.
Yes.
They're not being paid at all.
No.
There is, I think, some fee
Yeah.
for mileage, I believe, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Yep, and I'll get that information that technically falls under Dr. Jackson's
Jackson.
department. But I'll find out.
Any other questions? Oh,
So,
yes, Council.
so just for clarification purposes, the original contract, which was 149, 310, was done under delegated authority. So you didn't approve the original one. Because it was approximately $699 short of your
150.
approval,
Yeah.
which is at 150.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's why.
How convenient.
Okay. Any? Can I
And
go right
and one
ahead?
more comment, Commissioner Council, I believe you had an update regarding the item for this contract.
And also, so some services were added. They did change the scope and they did add more. I know that that was a question. It was just that it's not exactly the same, it's similar, but there were some additional items added to the list, like participate in things gone wrong and things gone. Oh, no, that's on there already. It's a,
You're right.
so there are a few
And-
new additional items, just for the record. And yes, this item should be moved contingent upon, there was an error. Yes, okay, you already know.
Yes, yes, yes. Do I need to know the whole contingent upon or just contingent upon?
There was a slight correction that needs to be made to the new exhibit, which is minor, and they already know about it, so they'll just make that correction before full board.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so I need a motion and to pass this contingent upon getting the proper information for full board. That's something.
Taking my motion away.
Oh, I'm sorry, go right ahead.
No, I'll move approval of item 9 with the proper contingency for the rest of the information to be there by full board.
Thank you. And can I get a support?
Support.
All those in favor, please indicate by voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
You
you,
did a great
Commissioners.
job. All right, let's move on to items 10 and 11. These are both IT items.
Item 10, forwarding notification of an emergency procurement report for a one-year contract with Versaturn Public Safety US for cloud-based full-featured software for the Wayne County Sheriff's Office to provide its Internal Affairs Department a replacement application used for investigations.
Madam Chair.
Okay. So this number 10 is a receive and file. Yes, that is, yeah.
I'll move to receive and file because it was a emergency procurement.
I'll support it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right, on to the next item, number 11, please.
Item 11, requesting commission approval of a 5-year contract with SHI International Corp. To provide Palo Alto Next Generation Firewall, hardware, software support, and related services to assist in protecting Wayne County's network.
Okay, this is firewall protection, making sure that we have a very strong, robust firewall ready to go because of what had happened in our cyber incident. And if our IT department would like to step up for just a minute, please.
5 bids.
Please introduce yourself.
Hello, Hector Roman, Director of
press,
Information Technology.
Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Ryan Hayes, Division Director for Computing and Infrastructure.
Okay, can you just tell us where we're at with this contract, please?
Sure. Take it. Sure. This is a replacement for our existing firewalls. Our existing firewalls are Juniper. They're reaching end of life. So over the course of the last year and a half, we've evaluated several firewalls and determined that Palo Alto is the industry leader. So that's who we selected to go with.
Okay. And when is the Juniper, is it just dying out and this is a better, more robust system?
We determined that Palo was better than our existing Junipers. The existing Junipers will expire the end of this year.
Okay. Commissioners, does anyone have any questions about this contract? Okay.
No, I know it's something that we certainly need to make sure we get the best stuff.
All right, then I take that as your support on this. And do I have a second or your motion, I should say, your motion on this and a support? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, very good. Can we move to the next item, Madam Clerk?
Moving back to the agenda. F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I know of none.
G, public comments.
Is there anyone on the phone line, any emails or Zoom for public comment?
No emails were received and no one on Zoom indicating that they have a comment.
Okay, anyone in the audience that has a public comment? All right, public comment is now closed. Can I get the next item, motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion, Madam Chair.
And I'll support that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're done.
Al,